Welcome to the world of whistleblowers. I'm your host, Bridget Barrett.
And I'm your co-host, Jason T. Brown.
It's been a wild week in the world of whistleblowers with yet another massive False Claims Act settlement in the hundreds of millions. Jason, tell us about it.
Well, first of all, Bridget, I think you're onto something. Maybe we should rename the show The Wild World of Whistleblowers. Or perhaps since it's Christmas season, it's a wonderful life, wonderful world of whistleblowers because right under the gun, before the year ended, we're looking at a $345 million settlement for whistleblowers under the False Claims Act under something called the Stark Law. And the Stark Law involves when there's self-dealing. Since it's the False Claims Act, the whistleblowers are entitled to up to 30%. So even though the final amount of the whistleblower award has not been announced, that's roughly $100 million for whistleblowers who did the right thing.
$100 million for a whistleblower. Wow.
That's pretty good sum of money to close out the year. 100 million. I don't think anybody's going to be complaining about that. But to get into it a little deeper, these cases take time. Glacial pace, we always say. 2008, 2009, the conduct involved, and it had to do with a community hospital under the Stark Law, which was hiring physicians for higher than fair market value in order to absorb all their federal government funding, their federal government patients, their Medicare, Medicaid patients. So for example, if a doctor was being paid $200,000 a year, they were paying them $400,000. So they're paying double what the fair market value was so they can get all the Medicare and Medicaid patients and all that revenue. And that violates something called the Stark Law because it's something known as self-dealing. Luckily, individuals on the inside were cognizant about the conduct, that taxpayers were being cheated at the end of the day. It was remedied, and the people who did the right thing certainly got handsomely paid for their efforts.
Well, Jason, I would say that caps off yet another great year under the False Claims Act for whistleblowers.
It certainly does. The numbers are not in, but maybe in our next show we'll get into it. But it looks like in aggregate again, under the False Claims Act, and that's just one whistleblower program, you're looking at over $1 billion that was recovered for the taxpayers by the insiders for disclosing inside things about wrongful conduct. And also when you start to add in the other statutes, the SEC, CFTC, and the other ancillary programs, it's probably several $billion again for this fiscal year in which whistleblowers are receiving hundreds of millions, if not in aggregate $1 billion for their efforts. So it's important for people who have information from the inside where they suspect misconduct to communicate it in some manner, generally to a whistleblower law firm. This is our news program, even though we have our own law firm. We're interested in talking about the news and reporting what's going on with current events.
Thanks, everyone, for your great feedback about our news program. If there's some topic that you'd like to discuss or you'd like to appear on our newscast, please get in touch and leave a comment below.
Just want to emphasize, we look forward to hearing from people. We certainly have had a lot of positive feedback and other feedback as well. But one thing you shouldn't do is if you have a case-specific thing, don't leave anything confidential in the comment section. You can email us and the address will be below. But other than that, we do look forward to hearing from your feedback. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, analyze, as long as it's not us writing your law school project for you, we'd love to hear from you. If you're thinking about blowing the whistle, that's something very serious. You should definitely consult with a whistleblower law firm, a law firm that has a background and experience in the subject matter for free confidential consultations. Don't go to your local mom and pop shop lawyer. This is a very niche type of practice that requires a law firm that knows what they're doing. This is not an advertisement for our law firm, even though we practice it. This is supposed to be analytical about what's going on in the world of whistleblowers. And boy, that $345 million whistleblower settlement right under the wire before the year end, that is another fantastic result for the whistleblowers, for the taxpayers, by the Department of Justice, and the whistleblower law firms that handled that matter.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks everybody for making it a great 2023 for the world of whistleblowers and beyond. We look forward to having an amazing 2024. And Bridget, thank you so much for hosting the show with me.
Thanks, Jason. My pleasure.